Unit 2, Activity 3 is looking at hydrological processes with hydro meaning water. So in this case, we're looking at flooding. And again, lots of recent examples of flooding for a variety of reasons, whether it's tied to a tsunami or whether it's tied to a hurricane, or whether it's even tied to just a sudden heavy rainfall. So lots of good examples of flooding that's happened in the recent sort of weeks, months previous to today. So in this section is going to take a look at some floods that are natural hazards, an interactive thing to sort of take a look at, some things you want to consider while exploring a map. And then it gets into different causes of flooding. So again, the different things that could have resulted in flooding itself. And sometimes it's human activity, right? We go and we pave over things with concrete. That often increases the risk of flooding because now there's no more land and vegetation to absorb the water. So part 2 is looking at the influence of water and flooding on the landscape and how it can shape things. Of course, the Grand Canyon, that was all shaped by moving water. So it's a very powerful thing, moving water. And again, when we have flooding, it kind of reminds us of that, especially when it picks up houses and vehicles and different large objects and moves them. So lots of power to go along with the movement of water. Here's the thing for checking understanding. So there's a quiz here to complete. So make sure you complete that to see if you've got a good understanding of all the different concepts you were just taking a look at. And then part 3 is sort of a flooding case study. So looking at the Calgary flood from 2013. And we're going to basically use geographic perspectives here. So to take a look at this and sort of how it impacted and who it impacted. It's going to talk about the different stakeholders who are involved. And in some cases, why would we build on a floodplain? It really doesn't make any sense to do it. But sometimes developers, they think they can convince somebody and that it's a good place to purchase, and lots of people want to live on the water, and so it's attractive that way. And so oftentimes people, without thinking, they buy a place because it's on the water, and they don't think about doing their homework and finding out whether or not it's a floodplain or what the historical lows and highs are of the body of water that they're putting on. The next piece is the Calgary flood case study, and so there's some questions that you have to answer. So you'll want to go through and sort of take a look at that. And again, the different perspectives of a variety of people. Please make sure that you do put, when it asks you for the perspective of a stakeholder, please give me in a specific stakeholder. All right, that's really important that you state that within the assignment. And then it moves on a little bit. So when that's done, you'll submit your work here. And then the next piece, again, looking at sort of the Calgary flood and the impact at the zoo itself, because the zoo is sort of like on a little island that was sort of out in the middle of the river. And so there was an impact on that. And so in this case, using the information that's provided, there's a chart right here. So you'll open this chart, you'll download it, and then you're going to complete that chart based on the information that you find in this article right here. And once that's all completed, then you need to submit your work to that Dropbox.